First of all, I have to say that it's a pleasure to be here in the company of representatives from NGOs, from science and from business, because that is really what the Copenhagen Climate Council is all about, to bring a unified voice coming from diverse backgrounds and diverse interests. So in our company, we certainly regard climate change as an opportunity to change for the better. And having said that, we have been driving an ambition to change diabetes, is what we call. Diabetes is our business. It's about defeating diabetes. So a lot of our business promise is to drive change. And when I talk about our efforts in climate change, I have a kind of a hard time explaining that we are not changing the climate. We're actually trying not to. So we have some rhetoric to deal with here. Let me just first say a few words about Novo Nordisk so that you will have a bit of an understanding of why we are here. We're a global healthcare company. We are focused in two areas, as I said, diabetes and biopharmaceuticals. We're headquartered in Copenhagen, Denmark, so we will be hosting next year's World Business Summit via the Copenhagen Climate Council, and we would, of course, also be there at the Bella Center in Copenhagen. Our production is energy intensive, and with increasing demand for our products, it means that we have a challenge of continuing to grow and at the same time reduce our dependency on carbon-based energy supplies. So we have a business-driven objective to decouple economic growth from energy consumption and environmental impact, and that is actually consistent with the company's stated objective to conduct our business in a way that is financially, environmentally, and socially responsible. So in our view, business and responsibility actually go hand in hand. So in 2004, our emissions from production were reaching a point where we said we have to set a target, and it has to be an ambitious and an absolute target of reduction over a 10-year period. And we actually joined the Climate Savers Network organized via the WWF, and we announced this target, but we really didn't know how we were going to get there. So I think that echoes a little bit what we will be seeing here. We just knew that we had to do it. We didn't know the cost, and we didn't know the instruments. We also did it because we wanted to, not because it was imposed upon us. And I think that's another message, that business can drive change and not necessarily being pushed into the corner, but really by being proactive. So we devised three levers. One is clean production and lean production. The other one is energy savings. And the third one is conversion to renewable energy. And via partnerships, commercial partnerships, and the partnership with WWF, we now believe that we are confident that we are going to get there. So we will make it. We will be totally reliant on wind energy. It's not from Vestas, I have to say, but it is in our Danish operations, which is the majority of our CO2 emissions. So by 2014, we expect to be CO2 neutral in Denmark. That's the start. Adaptation is next on our list. We are, as I said, in the business of health, and with diabetes being a predominantly lifestyle-derived condition that is spreading faster than any healthcare system can match, and particularly in developing countries that are so vulnerable also in a climate perspective, we see that not only the causes but also the solutions are the same. And coping with climate change requires a fundamental shift in the way we live on this earth. And this question is not if we can do so, but if we can do it soon enough to avert the impending climate crisis. So what we would call for is really to have an ambitious international and legally binding UN agreement that will support what we are talking about here, and also to create the framework for business to make the investments into driving low-carbon technologies. And then just to round up on the principles, we would like to see a new climate treaty that would build on three principles. We would like it to be inclusive, which means truly global, means that it should involve all parties, all sectors. We would like it to be fair. We certainly see the need for developing countries to lead the way, and that everyone must do what they can. And third, we would like to see an agreement that is collaborative, that builds on partnerships, and that really shows a cross-sectoral approach. What we would like to see is government incentives and disincentives for climate action against unsustainable behavior. Could be promotion of renewable energy, energy efficiency in production, building and transportation, but also behavioral shift throughout society. We would also like to see government initiatives in support of a more sustainable development, and that takes me back to my starting point. Climate change is the greatest opportunity we have to really drive for a sustainable lifestyle, so that we can have a coherent and consistent cross-sectoral responses and collaboration. Thank you.